I thought this game was about helping people, listening to them, understanding them, guiding them toward a better future. But a few hours in, something didn't sit right. People weren't just listening to me, they were changing because of me. And that's when it clicked. You know, I wasn't actually reading the future for them, I was controlling it for them. In the cosmic wheel Sisterhood, you play as Fortuna, a witch in exile, spending centuries alone before reconnecting with others through fortune telling. On paper, it sounds simple. People come to you with questions, and you read their future using cards that you design yourself. No combat, no time pressure, no win condition. It is all just conversation. And because of that, it feels safe, almost comforting, cozy, one might say. Like you're doing something meaningful. But underneath that calm surface is something much more unsettling. Because this isn't a game about discovering truth, it's a game about designing your truth. At the start, the role feels natural. Someone comes to you, uncertain, vulnerable, looking for answers, and you respond the way most people would. You try to help. You choose interpretations that feel kind or that you feel most appropriate for them. You soften the harsh possibilities. You guide them towards what sounds right to you. And the game rewards that feeling. Characters begin to trust you, they open up, and they thank you immensely. It creates this quiet feedback loop. You speak, they feel better, you believe you helped. But there's something important missing. The game never tells you what your cards actually mean. There's no hidden, correct interpretation. No system validating your choices, which means something subtle but important. You're not uncovering the meaning behind your cards, you're assigning the meaning to them. At some point, there's a shift. It's not dramatic, the game doesn't announce it, but you feel it. You give someone a reading, maybe encouraging them to take a risk or warning them to be cautious, and later they act on it directly. Not as a vague inspiration of sorts, but as a decision shaped by what you told them. And suddenly, your words feel heavier, because now there's a consequence. Up until this point, you were interpreting symbols. Now, you're influencing outcomes. And those two things are not the same. That's when the illusion breaks, because you realize they are not adapting to the future, they are adapting to you. And in this game, both retroactively and in the future. Here's what makes this so powerful. In most narrative games, your choices exist within boundaries. You pick from options that the game already understands. But here, there are no boundaries, no defined morality, no correct path, no external truth. If you say that a card represents hope, then it does. If you say it represents danger, that becomes real as well. The game does not question you, which means the characters don't either. And slowly, without realizing it, your role changes, or more exactly, your role unveils. You're no longer just a participant, you are an authority, more so the authority. And that shift is dangerous, because authority doesn't just respond to people, it shapes them, their confidence, their fears, and their decisions. Not based on reality, but based on what you believe reality should be. What's fascinating is that the game never tries to understand you. There's no data tracking, no adaptive system, no personalization, and yet it feels deeply personal. Because everything that happens in the game comes from you. It's from your values, your instincts, and your definition of what's right. The game gives you empty symbols and trusts you to give them meaning. So when a choice feels uncomfortable, it's not because the game forced you into it. It's because you're seeing your own thinking reflecting back at you. In a way, this isn't a story about Fortuna. It's a story about the player and how they choose to shape others when given the chance. And that's why this experience lingers, because it doesn't feel like something you leave behind when you stop playing. It feels familiar, because this kind of influence exists outside the game too. Every time someone asks for advice, every time someone trusts your judgment, every time your words affect someone else's decision, you're doing more or less the same thing. You're not just responding, you're shaping. And maybe that's what this game is really about. Not power in the traditional sense, but the quiet, everyday kind. The kind that doesn't look like control, but still changes people. The game has its flaws from a technical standpoint, and the biggest quarrel of mine with it is how it railroads you into some decisions before you even begin to understand how you actually shift the cosmic dynamics. Despite its shortcomings, it was a thoroughly interesting ride. It's somewhat old now. It came out in 2023, but still worth at least one playthrough in my opinion. Until next time then.